Hi guys! So lots to talk about this week. Sorry if my video's a little bright, but this is as dim as I could make it during the day. So talking this week about genre in our videos, I really enjoyed Dirk's reading that Professor Nelson posted. It was just, obviously it's pretty meta, and he talks about in the reading how he's trying to reach a certain audience and about how he's purposefully being, funny and personable and nice and using the word I and attempting to relate to his audience. And the reading ends with some great questions that Dirk asks his readers to consider. If you haven't read all the questions at the end of Dirk's article, I would recommend it because they're really great. I'm not going to answer them all for my two texts that I'll be doing for Project 3 because we've got some better questions that are a little more focused on our texts. But the questions that Dirk asks at the end of the reading are really great. One of them was, what genres are you most familiar with? And the reason I really enjoyed that question is because we're all familiar with genres, but in different ways. For instance, I'm a huge movie buff. I love books, I love TV shows, I love magazines, but my favorite form of entertainment is movies. And so, of course, the genres I can tell you about the most are movie genres, dramas, comedies, and he gets into it a little in his article about, or his essay, about movie genres and how different they are. For instance, he talks about the difference between the horror genre and the chick flick genre. And why I really enjoy that type of discussion is because genres are different. I don't like it when a movie is just called a drama because I think that movies are so much more than just one label. I think an ensemble comedy, for instance, is much more than just comedy. I think it should stand as its own piece of art, as its own movie. And I think our projects should as well. I don't think they should just be one word to sum them up. So diving right in, my first text is a satirical online quiz about body shaming. The reason I mention the movie genres is I do want the quiz to be funny. I do want it to make people laugh. I don't want to just say, well, the genre is comedy, and then move on. It is a satire. I will admit that that is a genre title you can consider a satire. It's making fun of real quizzes out there, for instance, Cosmo magazine, that actually attempt to make you test how quote unquote beautiful you are. So it is satirizing real quizzes that exist out there. And Dirk also mentions looking up examples of the texts that you'll be doing, looking up examples of a genre, the exact genre that you're writing. And there are tons of satirical quizzes already out there. I'm hardly the first person to invent a quiz that makes fun of a sort of stereotype and makes it makes the quiz taker laugh, but also hopefully makes them think about something political and think about something on a deeper level. So that's my genre for sort of my first text. My second text, again, I'm leaning more towards the memes. Now, a meme is interesting because I've posted its definition before on WordPress, but its definition is something that's funny, that's circulated online, that goes viral online, usually a still image. And my memes, if you've been following what I'm going to be doing with body shaming, are going to be serious. They're meant to be taken seriously and not laughed at. So instantly there you have a genre that's being changed just by the image not being meant to produce laughs, but being meant to make a person think, whereas my quiz actually is meant to produce laughs. So I do have a couple different strategies for my genres. They do require the quiz requires a specific type of language. It's an informal language, but it's the type of language that we see for these silly quizzes. They've always got the titles either saying test yourself or in all bold, capitalized letters, "How beautiful are you?" So a quiz is it's a it's its own medium. You know, it's got its own sets of rules. It's not just um, writing down on a piece of paper, you know, circle A or B. It's definitely got its own setup. Sorry, I didn't take notes very well. Um, and so it is going to be a little more formal, the test, and it does have design requirements and I'm not quite sure which site I'm going to use yet, but I'm looking at a couple different ones. I do want to make it look like a real quiz, and hence it is going to have to look a bit more formal and a bit less like it was just made in 2 seconds, you know, which is a whole part of the satire is that it looks like a quiz out of, say, Cosmo, or even BuzzFeed has made some sexist quizzes in the past. But instead it'll be satirizing those. And so that, of course, is my medium, is online for both the quiz and the memes. Dirk makes a really good point of saying that you really are just sort of inventing your own genre. And I feel that that's definitely what I'm doing more with the memes. There probably are serious memes out there, but the point of the memes is to be taking something that's popular now in the 2000 teens, that's a popular comedic tool, and switching it on its head, therefore creating a sort of new genre. Again, my memes are going to be pictures of women. I've landed more towards women with disabilities, either physical or mental disabilities, though of course physical disabilities will be easier to spot in the photographs. And we all know memes for having those white letters that usually say something funny, whereas mine, as opposed to a joke, are just going to say "still beautiful" over women that society does not consider beautiful, even if it claims to. And so that is sort of my creation of a new genre, despite the fact that, again, lots of still beautiful images exist out there. A good example is I have a friend who I haven't seen much of since high school, but we're Facebook friends, and she is very much overweight, but she got a tattoo on her back that says "still beautiful." And that was actually my inspiration for my second text, which is the memes, was those words of "still beautiful" tattooed on her back, just because I thought that was a fantastic idea, and all my friends were very much for that. So again, that's my answers towards those questions that were posted below Dirk's essay. However, Dirk does ask some really good questions at the end of his essay, regarding genres and what we know about genres and what we should research. And so I do still have a lot of research to do. I do want to look up a few more quizzes and potentially serious memes before I create my own, though this week, the week of it is the 12th today, so this week I do want to make drafts of both of my texts, both the quiz and the memes. So that's what I'll be doing for this week, but otherwise I look forward to watching your videos, because this project, more than any other, I've been following you guys' videos, and I look forward to finishing up the semester with you guys. So thanks for bearing with me on this video. Bye.